What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max, and today we are checking out the all-new Audi RS3, the 2021-2022 model. This is an Audi RS3 sedan, and it is here courtesy of LCE Performance, who have bought this car last week and have already put an exhaust on the car to make it sound properly cool. So I think that's actually a world premiere. I haven't seen anyone with a different exhaust on the new RS3, so you're going to hear it here first. But before we continue, I just want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, which is BOTB, the Dream Car Competition. They give away 2 cars every week, and one of the cars you can win is a brand new 2022 Audi RS3. Tickets are just £1.55, that's less than €2 if you're in Europe, and you also have a chance at winning up to £50,000 of cash in the booth. What's more, if you win, they also contribute to the first year of servicing and insurance. As well as the Audi RS3, they also have 150 other cars to play for, starting at 45 pence a ticket. So what are you waiting for? Head over to botb.com and make sure you let us know if you win. Enjoy the video, guys. So today I'm going to show you around it. We're going to talk a bit about all the new stuff on it, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast with winter tires. Alright, and we're going to start at the front, because this car has the optional matrix LED lights, and that means that if you unlock it, you get the most intricate animation on a headlight I have ever seen. I mean, we know that Audi loves their matrix LED animations, but this is next level. So if you open it, this happens, and then you have this checkered flag, and it spells out RS3. Not this time. Why is it not doing that? Is that only on this side? Yeah. I hope you guys could see that. RS3 is spelled out on this little screen, basically. Not every time, apparently. Anyway, I hope you guys could see that, but it is insane. Never seen anything like it. Wheels, we've got 19-inch wheels with behind that the regular steel brakes. These are winter tires, as I said, limited to 240 kilometers an hour, so we're going to stay close to that. I do have to say that these are a lot more narrow than the regular tires. I think normally you get 265s at the front. That is going to affect handling. Also available on the new RS3 are carbon ceramic brakes as an option. You also get a higher top speed if you go for the ceramics. So normally it is 250 kilometers an hour. If you go for the dynamic pack or whatever it's called, it goes to 280. And if you have the ceramics, it will do 290 kilometers an hour. So that is really cool. Very good by Audi to link the top speed to ceramic brakes, yes or no. I think that is super clever and very safe as well. Did we miss anything at the front? I do think that we have to spend a little bit of time at the design, of course, because I have to say, I think it's a very handsome car. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let me know in the comments, but I'll turn on the lights as well. So with the lights on, you have a better look of it. I think it's a very handsome car. Of course, we've got a black car today, but if you have a color, you will have a lot of contrasting black stuff, like the grille, like the inlay in the left and right front. I do think it's a handsome car. And as you can see, we've got the sedan today, so also please let me know what you prefer. This car is also available as a sportback, of course. Would you go for the 4-door sedan or the hatchback? I think this is a very good looking car. I like the squareness of it, the muscly look. I think it works really well. Beautiful rear lights as well. Little boot lid spoiler, RS3 logo, and then the exhaust. As I said, LCE put an exhaust on here. It's an OPF back, and they have removed the flap, so it's always open. And they did one more thing, and that is that they put a tube in here to basically connect the bumper. So this is a bumper part, as you know. The rest is, the exhaust is further back. I don't know if I ever told you this, but that is mainly for insurance reasons. So if you get hit in the rear, by another car or an elephant or whatever, you damage this part but not the exhaust. That's basically why all these cars have fake exhaust tips now. So I guess it's quite clever, but it still is horrible because you can see right through it. So LCE put this tube in there to make it look like a proper exhaust when you're behind it, and that works really well. Very, very clever. Sounds awesome as well. I'll let you guys hear that in a minute. We'll take a look at the engine. So let's take a look at the 5-cylinder, 2.5 liters, of course. And yay, it's still there. Good job, Audi, for keeping the 5-cylinder turbo engine. It is magnificent. We still have 400 horsepower, just like the outgoing RS3, but we have 20 Newton meters extra, so 500 Newton meters in total. 0 to 100, 3.8 seconds, and a top speed, as I said, 250, 280 or 290. But man, this engine in this little car is still so amazing, and I'm just so happy that they kept it like this. I don't think that a lot has changed on the engine. I mean, as you probably know, there has been a big revamp with the previous generation, where most of the block is aluminium. So I think they kept it mostly the same, probably optimized it for environmental reasons. Alrighty, let's take a look inside as well. In classic Audi fashion, we've got a black car with black interior, of course. But what a nice interior. Start up the car so I can straighten the steering wheel, which seems massive to me. Don't know if we have been driving too many cars with small steering wheels, or that steering wheels are getting bigger nowadays, but this feels massive. You can also get it with a flat bottom and Alcantara on it as an option. Now I have to say the design of this interior is very, very nice. It looks cool, it looks modern. We've got a touchscreen, of course, here to operate most of the stuff, but looky here, we've got regular buttons for the climate, we've got the seat heating with a regular button down there, we've got drive select, traction control, all the stuff you need to access quickly and often has a button, which is great. We do have this stupid volume button here with the turning and the swiping, and I don't know, it is hilariously over-engineered, and a knob would be so much better and easier. But hey, we can forgive a couple of misses here and there. So we also have a wireless charger there, and well, it looks really cool. We've got these RS seats, which again, in classic Audi fashion, are a bit too high and not very supportive, but they do look cool. And I have to say that we've got a normal sized adult in the rear.
Thank you.
He can fit there. And then you have some space here as well for a, well, not that much space, but this is a small car. If you can fit 4 adults in here, that is pretty impressive.
It is.
Thank you, good job.
Yeah.
So.
And stupid things. Why does the
yeah,
counter go down?
We do have the new stupid digital dials, and when I rev it, you can see that is this made to look like 3D, like it's coming towards you? It's very weird. Why doesn't it go up? It would make so much more sense. Anyway, we'll go to performance mode and car in neutral, so I can let you guys hear the sound with this new exhaust. That sounds, oh, little burbles, little pops. That sounds like a proper 5-cylinder car. So LCE, good job guys. Sounds amazing. I haven't heard a regular one without the exhaust, but I did read when the car was introduced that yeah, the exhaust wasn't very impressive. Of course, with the new OPF and all the horrible, stupid stuff. We want sound. Sound is what we want. All right. Now, I haven't even talked about one of the most important things with this car, or one of the biggest changes, which is that we have a new mode which is torque rear. So the car has a torque vectoring differential at the rear, which can split the torque 100% to the rear, left or right. So that would mean that you would expect it to be sort of like a drift mode. And my foot is fully down. I'm allowed to do a 180 basically. I'm allowed to spin the rear a bit, but then when you get to a certain angle, you're not allowed to maintain it with the throttle, which is kind of weird. I would imagine that it is very, very difficult to actually maintain a power slide with this car. I don't think they actually intended it that way. I think it's more meant to feel a bit more rear wheel drive, a bit more, well, maybe not even that, maybe a bit more neutral. Because when you put your foot down at the right time and boost builds and most of that is sent to the rear, you can actually feel that a lot of torque is being sent to the rear and that it's kind of squirming a little bit to get it down, which is very nice. But still, my traction control is all the way off, and when I try to do it quickly and more with more speed, it doesn't let me, which is kind of strange. So I've read a lot about drift mode and rear wheel drive mode. It's really not the case. It sends up to 50% to the rear. So the front is always driven, and then the differential decides it can send 100% of the torque to the right rear, for instance, to try and make it slide around. So it's very unnatural and it doesn't feel great to try and slide around. There we go. Launch control. Whoa, that is very aggressive. And that is 0 to 100 in 3.8. According to Audi, we have been able to do a 3.7 in the wet, so with winter tires. So I'm guessing it will be a little bit quicker in the dry, in perfect conditions. 3.6, 3.5 maybe even should be possible. So it is a very good launch control, very aggressive. And at that moment you do feel that it's trying to decide where to put the power, especially when you do it in the wet. Feels really cool. So driving it on a road like this, if you start driving it hard, you do feel that quintessential Audi understeer that you feel initially. But I have to say that the car does feel a lot better than the previous RS3. It feels less understeery, it feels more neutral, and the steering is a bit nicer as well. We've got a little bit more feel. Suspension is really good as well. Still comfy in sport mode, which I think is a good thing because I think an RS3 should be comfy. Torque rear, here we go. It's totally limiting my power. I'm putting my foot down, nothing is happening. So it decides when you are allowed to do that. So don't believe all the drift mode nonsense you read on the internet. It's really not a drift mode, and I honestly don't think that Audi intended it that way. I think they intended it to be just a balance change, because you can really feel that it tries to send more to the rear, which is a nice feeling. Now this of course is where Audi RS cars usually shine at the Autobahn. High speeds, comfort, hauling ass, taking a lot of stuff with you. And with this car it is no different. As I said, still we're in RS performance mode, so this is the most aggressive setting basically, but still feels like a very comfortable high-speed cruiser. And I think that Audi RS have gotten so good at that, absolutely nailing what their customers want and need. So full throttle. It is true Audi RS Quattro weather, of course. and performance is quite impressive, I have to say. I can actually feel that we've got the wind going against us. Well, that is 270. That's not bad. It's a quick car, and of course we also measured 100 to 200 kilometers an hour, and it did a 9.33 second run, which is hella quick for an RS3. Honestly, 400 horsepower, 9.33 is impressive. The car weighs just over 1500 kilos, I believe, so it's not super heavy. And you have this compact, square feeling little bullet of a car. It is really, really impressive. Braking performance is less than impressive. I would definitely recommend going for the ceramics if you plan on doing Autobahn stuff or track days or anything like that. Ceramics are always nice to have. But the car feels really, really good. Performance is strong. The numbers are there. It feels comfy. It feels bigger than it actually is. Not only in sheer space, fitting an adult in the rear and having enough space at the front, but also driving it. The car feels stable. It's just with that drift. It's just with that torque rear mode that you feel that the wheelbase is super short. The sedan is also not longer than the hatchback, so you've basically got the footprint of a hatchback with a sedan body on top. So it's still a very short and square car, which of course isn't ideal if you want to try and slide it anyway. So yeah, I don't know if I was expecting any more, but did you fart or whatever? What happened?
GSG fart.
Oh, look at that grip. That is impressive. You can feel it sliding a bit across those front tires, but then when you give it a little bit of throttle, it just pulls itself through. Really impressive. I have to say, I quite like this car. I'm not the biggest fan of RS3s, as you may know. I love the 5-cylinder, always loved that, but dynamically speaking, it's never been a super impressive car, and I feel like this generation sort of knows what it's supposed to be a little bit better, and it does that very, very well. And this exhaust is magnificent. If you already have an RS3, or if you ordered one, or you're planning to order one, definitely go check out LCE Performance, because they have a really nice exhaust and you still have the OPF in place. So this is completely legal and it sounds amazing. And they're also going to do a stage 1 tune, and they will be back when they finish that. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned. Jokey joke. Thanks LCE guys for taking it to us. Always a pleasure to see you, and well, I'll see you at the next one. You can subscribe by clicking the big button. You can also check out this video right there, or go check out the playlist on the left. See you at the next one. Bye.